Rogues are the iconic thief class, using daggers to stab and ambush and disable their opponents before they even have a chance to react. Rogues have always been one of the most powerful classes in PvP and even PvE in vanilla WoW. TBC brought melee unfriendly raids and rogues became somewhat unwanted, but in Wrath, with the addition of new abilities and new raids, rogues rise up to the challenge and are incredible once again in both PvE and PvP. Out of all the classes, rogues probably had the least amount of changes to their talent trees, but that doesn't mean they didn't have powerful new abilities added. Abilities that give them incredible new AoE, such as Fan of Knives. Instantly throw both weapons at all targets within 8 yards, causing 105% weapon damage with daggers and 70% weapon damage with all other weapons. But this isn't the only thing rogues got. They also got Tricks of the Trade, which is an iconic ability. The current party or raid member becomes the target of your Tricks of the Trade. The threat caused by your next attack and all actions taken for 6 seconds afterwards will be transferred to the target. In addition, all damage caused by the target is increased by 15% during this time. This is amazing. It is such a powerful buff, 15% damage, not to mention all of your threat will be given to the target, which is a very, very great threat mitigation for rogues. Very strong ability. Now, besides these baseline new abilities for all rogues, there are also 3 specializations to choose from. Assassination, which is a high damage specialization used mainly in PvE in Wrath of the Lich King, utilizing Mutilate and Envenom, which deals nature damage to bypass armor's physical damage reduction. There's also Combat, which is also a PvE specialization requiring armor penetration in order to truly maximize its effectiveness in dealing more consistent sustained physical damage. And last, there is Subtlety, the PvP specialization which focuses on making the rogue a shadowy nightmare that can lock down enemies, escape from death, and chase down fleeing foes with ease. Subtlety rogues are things of nightmare for many classes. Now, all these specializations did change in Wrath, so let's talk about some of the biggest changes, starting with Assassination. The first big talent change for Assassination is Blood Spatter. Increases the damage caused by your Garrote and Rupture abilities by 30%. Big increase there. Deadly Brew is a new talent, which causes your instant wound or mind-numbing poison to have a 100% chance to apply crippling poison, which is awesome. No longer do you need to put on your crippling poison to your weapons once you get this talent. There's also Focusing Attacks, causes your melee critical strikes to have a 100% chance to give you 2 energy, which is nice. There's also Turn the Tables. Whenever anyone in your party or raid blocks, dodges, or parries an attack, your chance to critically hit with all combo moves is increased by 6% for 8 seconds. This is very strong. As you can imagine, I'm sure plenty of your party, or more so raid members, are going to be blocking, dodging, or parrying, which will certainly give all your finishing moves nearly a permanent 6% increased critical hit chance. Another powerful assassination talent is Cut to the Chase, which causes your Eviscerate and Envenom abilities to have a 100% chance to refresh your Slice and Dice duration to its 5 combo point maximum. And last, the final new talent, Hunger for Blood. All the way at the bottom of the assassination tree, this enrages you, increasing all damage caused by 5%, and it does require a bleed effect to be active on the target in order to use, but it will last a full minute. Okay, next let's talk about combat talents. We've got Throwing Specialization, which increases the range of throw and deadly throw by 4 yards and gives your deadly throw a 100% chance to interrupt the target for 3 seconds. Previously, this was a set bonus to cause your deadly throw to interrupt the target, or actually I think it was on the PvP gloves, but either way, now it's a talent, which is very nice to be able to keep that going into Wrath of the Lich King. Another awesome talent is Unfair Advantage. Whenever you dodge an attack, you gain an unfair advantage, striking back for 100% of your main hand weapon's damage. This cannot occur more than once per second. This is amazing. Anytime you dodge, you're going to be doing tons of damage, and rogues have evasion, which increases their dodge chance substantially. So this is a very, very cool new talent for for the combat tree. Very, very strong. Savage Combat is another new talent in the combat tree, which increases your total attack power by 4%, and all physical damage caused to enemies you've poisoned is increased by 4%. This is an incredibly strong ability, increasing all attack power and all physical damage caused. Very, very, very powerful PvE, but also PvP talent. Another amazing talent is Prey on the Weak. Your critical strike damage is increased by 20% when the target has less health than you as a percentage of total health. This is very nice. Obviously, as a rogue, you're most likely going to always have more health than your enemy, assuming you're locking them down and they're not even dealing damage to you. And so your critical strike damage being increased by 20% is a very powerful buff to have on. Another talent at the bottom of the combat tree, which is the new final ability, is Killing Spree. Step through the shadows from enemy to enemy within 10 yards, attacking an enemy every half second with both weapons until 5 assaults are made, and increasing all damage done by 20% for the duration. Can hit the same target multiple times, cannot hit invisible or stealth targets. This is an amazing ability. Definitely can do tons of damage because it's increasing all damage done by 20%, so very, very strong ability. Mostly good for PvE, but also PvP applications as well. And last, let's talk about Subtlety talent changes. Now, Relentless Strikes has been moved from the Assassination tree over to the Subtlety tree near the top, so other specs have easy access to it, so that is now there. But there are also brand new talents in the Subtlety tree like Waylay, which causes your ambush and backstab hits to have a 100% chance to unbalance a target, increasing the time between their melee and ranged attacks by 20% and reducing movement speed by 50% for 8 seconds. This is very strong. Obviously, we're moving into PvP land, and this is a very, very strong sort of damage mitigation in the form of slowing their melee and ranged attacks, and of course, reducing their movement speed by 50% is very, very strong as well. Another very strong Subtlety talent is Honor Among Thieves. When anyone in your group critically hits with a damage or healing spell or ability, you have a 100% chance to gain a combo point on your current target. This effect cannot occur more than once every second. So as you can imagine, if anyone is getting lots of crits, you're going to be getting tons of combo points. This is absolutely amazing. So you can imagine getting all those combo points very quickly can help you get more finishing moves and make you do more damage in general. So Honor Among Thieves, a nice new Subtlety talent. Another very strong talent is Filthy Tricks. Reduces the cooldown by 10 seconds and energy cost by 10 of your Tricks of the Trade, Distract, and Shadow Step abilities, and reduces the cooldown of Preparation by 3 minutes. All of those abilities are very powerful, so reducing the cooldown and energy cost of these abilities is obviously going to make the rogue that much more powerful. Another very cool Subtlety ability is Slaughter from the Shadows. Reduces the energy cost of your backstab and ambush abilities by 20, and the energy cost of your hemorrhage by 5, and increases all damage done by 5%. All around, very, very strong talent that basically helps tons of your important abilities by reducing the energy cost and just increasing all your damage done. That is very, very nice. And the final talent at the bottom of the Subtlety tree for rogues is Shadow Dance. Enter the Shadow Dance for 6 seconds, allowing the use of Sap, Garrote, Ambush, Cheap Shot, Premeditation, Pickpocket, and Disarm Trap, regardless of being stealth. This is amazing. As you can imagine, a lot of those abilities you need to be stealth to use. Well, you don't have to be stealth during the Shadow Dance. Incredibly powerful to be able to do that, and obviously very, very strong for PvP. And speaking of PvP, rogues have many arena teams to choose from. You've got the all-powerful RMP, Rogue Mage Priest, is a classic which dominates in Wrath of the Lich King. The notorious RLS, which is Roguelock Shaman, is another team that can easily crush so many other teams. And of course, in 2v2 where the rogue can dominate with a priest, rogue is always a standard comp that does very well. When it comes to open world PvP, not a lot needs to be said. Rogues are the best at ganking, the hardest to gank, and hands down dominate in open world PvP. Overall, with the new abilities rogues were given, they rise to the top as one of the strongest choices for Wrath of the Lich King because of their ability to do so well in both PvP and PvE, having a high skill ceiling for those looking for a class to master and a sinister class fantasy to enjoy.